I've never actually sung either.
Boards. Games. Today we're going to be doing a bit of drawing.
And we're also gonna be doing talking.
And we will simultaneously also drink a cup of tea.
Or coffee.
And we have pens and our rose or green.
Yeah. We might need an actual work on a theme song. That was pretty bad.
I mean, we knew it would be.
I did also promise several of my friends that if they came on the stream, I would not be singing. So I've already, like 1 minute in, broken that promise.
Oh man, Xate, I'll just kind of double check. Should I also log in? I was glad to see this morning that you were able to ban someone. It was like the computer. It was like, oh, why didn't Xate ban them? And I was like, oh yeah, Xate did. So I was like,
yeah, I totally did. Are you kidding? Yeah, they were out. Hello, Andrew. Nice to see you in here. So this is a totally structured, totally well thought out, totally planned and conceived concept today, where we're going to be doing totally normal board game related or also not board game related things. So, yay! I guess basically for a little bit of introduction to what we're doing, you'll see in the top of the screen Bez's paper view. Not pay for each view, but just paper, as in the actual paper view, that Bez is going to be drawing upon during our show today. And this is basically a show I decided to pitch to Bez because, well, they had said they needed to do some drawing, and I said, I want to spend more time talking to the guests you have on in the morning. And so we put it together, and Bez is going to get some drawing done. We get to watch. So for all the art fans out there who want to know, can Bez draw this? I don't know. Maybe you can try to convince them to do something. I think today is going to be request made on Bez Day over Twitter. There was a chance that you could opt in to get Bez to draw something funny, and I know I put in a request, and I will be excited to see if that gets drawn.
I'm looking at Tyrannosaurus Rexes because someone wanted me to draw a T-Rex rolling a die. We'll see how that goes.
That is going to be an awesome picture. So we'll be watching that and enjoying that. And keeping Bez on track,
I'm just giving encouragement. Things quickly. Don't expect any level of quality.
We are expecting these to be museum quality pictures. What Bez is currently working on is their exhibit at the Modern Art Museum of I Just Made This Up. And it's going to be a great show, hosted nowhere. And in the meantime, I get to chat with people who have been on the show before, for the most part, starting today with Catherine. Hello.
Hello.
Hopefully everyone has already gotten to check out this segment when she came on and talked about her edible dice. And if you haven't, that was a very cool segment. She's a very cool person. And I definitely want to get to talk to her more.
Hooray. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you more as well. I kind of feel like an hour is not enough time.
Who's this person? Jake Logged.
It's Jeroen. Yeah. I am glad to see you in chat as well. Are you still on vacation? If so, I'm doubly flattered that you're here. But awesome. Jeroen has been teaching me Dutch sometimes. So that's the thing, Are you doing anything weird, Catherine, for Corona? Did you start any random projects where you're just well, I've got time now?
I did. I did some random home improvement stuff. I painted my bathroom orange because, I was bored, and I repainted my front door. It's a lovely grey now, but with a pink knob. That's my gift to the town, So I will supply the pink knob, and you can supply the jokes. And that was more or less it, though. I mean, I didn't sort of go off try to learn a foreign language or do anything particularly ambitious, but it's mostly just been trying to bring sort of work-related projects to fruition, and while simultaneously juggling 2 children, which is challenging enough, I feel.
Now, is that physically juggling? You pick up your children, throw them in the air, push them?
So, sometimes, yes, absolutely. More often they throw each other in the air. That happens with a sort of frequency. although now they're more sort of juggling cats, because we got 2 kittens. I guess that also counts as a project. So we took on 2 kittens during lockdown, and
None of these reference pictures of Tyrannosaurus have feathers, but I thought that recent research showed that dinosaurs had feathers.
Yeah, you're quite right. They apparently did, and they've actually found sort of fossils in China, I believe, where they've actually found sort of not the actual feathers themselves, but obviously the sort of little, I don't know what you call them, the little holes where they would have come from in skins that they found fossilized, which is really interesting.
But surely not all dinosaurs had feathers. I mean, maybe the T-Rex just had really bad skin conditions and had big pores because of that.
It was a T-Rex with eczema, but no, I don't think so. I think they at first thought it was maybe just some of the smaller dinosaurs, you know, the sort of the little runny ones with 2 legs. I used to be absolutely dinosaur crazy, and I used to know all the terminology. So I'm really sorry, but I've completely forgotten everything. But I believe now they've decided that perhaps it was the larger dinosaurs as well that also had feathers. So quite plausible. Just it really goes against everything that we grew up knowing about dinosaurs. You know, these big sort of dragony, lizardy things, and now we have to change our perceptions of them, and that's in a way quite difficult to do, isn't it? It's sort of reimagining that thing.
Hey Duchess, hey Alan, great that you guys are here. Wow, that's special. So did any of you have dinosaurs as pets when you were children? Let us know. You know, I mean, are we getting it wrong? I don't know how old the viewers are. You know, there might be someone.
Absolutely. I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was a child. That was my first dream.
By the way, the side contest is how many times can you make Bez laugh. If you get Bez to break character and laugh, you get a point. It's a game we play here on the stream. Dee, great to see you too.
A girl, a game, and a goal. There's people that I don't know. Hello, girl, a game, and a goal, and Duchess, and
yeah, I may or may not have had something to do with it.
Oh, thank you.
These are all losers. So, yeah.
It's because it's at a different time.
Yeah. So, did you have like any actual pets as a kid?
I had a traumatic relationship with stick insects, and then later on with guinea pigs, which had a tendency to come to unfortunate ends in various ways. So I still have nightmares about it now, actually. I mean, nothing terrible that I did personally, but they just, you know, to be fair, many of them lived for sort of, 10, 15 years. So they weren't all traumatically ending, but I still have recurring nightmares about finding a hutch of guinea pigs at the end of the garden that I'd forgotten I had. And sorry, that's far too traumatic for the daytime. I'm very sorry. But that was it. That was all the pets I ever had.
This is not necessarily a happy show. I think, part of the whole like getting to chat and go beyond the basic interviews of the morning show is that we're not sticking to the morning show theme. Like, it doesn't have to be upbeat. It doesn't have to be about board games. It's just whatever we happen to come across that sparks interest between all of us. Emma!
Great. Well, there we go. Downbeat conversation about guinea pigs.
Yes.
I can supply it.
And now,
How about you? Did you have pets growing up?
Well, my traumatic experience with pets was that my brother had a dog. But my brother got a dog at the age where most little boys want a dog. And I was 6.5 years younger than my brother, so I was way too small to be around a dog that has decided it did not want to be, the lowest member of the totem pole. So it kind of took it out on me. And I became, the one that got jumped on and attacked and everything. I mean, it was a golden retriever. It's not like a vicious dog, but it's this like little happy dog attacking me all the time. Like,
oh no!
It's just like, and also being that much younger, I was a member of the family who left their toys laying around and their shoes and their whatever. So I was the member of the family whose stuff was getting destroyed by the dog.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I was not a fan. I was not a fan.
I can understand that. I burnt ages ago. I had this, so I did this crazy thing. I don't know if I actually showed it to anyone ever, but it was arguably a waste. Let me see if I can show it on the table cam if that's still going. So
it is, but the lighting's a little bit hard to see some stuff. Oh wow!
Yeah.
See,
destruction of Viddle card.
That's cute. Is that actually burnt?
Yes, it was literally burnt.
Cool. That's fantastic.
I mean,
I love it.
Would I lie? Parts of me was like, maybe I could cut out bits and then burn the edges, and then I was like, no, that's not.
That's not authentic. Yeah, can't do that.
And then GH, and then if I've only gone halfway through the alphabet, because then I got to
So burnt is a pretty good word. So since we're both into food and we're both into board games, have you ever burnt something because of a board game?
I mean, I've burnt a lot of food in my life. I am well known for it, actually. I just don't have the attention span to cook. Now, it's different making sweets because that's very much a scientific process. That's very much a sort of, this is the thing I'm doing now, and I have timers, and I have thermometers, and I have all the kit, and I can focus on that. But ask me to make a cup of tea, I mean, you'll be waiting 3 hours because I just wander off. I'll put the tea bag in, I'll wander off. I'll boil the kettle, I'll wander off. I'll have to boil it again. And so it goes on. And eventually, maybe after 2 or 3 hours, you'll get your cup of tea. But it's similar with food. I don't know. I just can't seem to focus on a task.
I'm completely the opposite. I can't walk away. So I'll like have something in the oven and I'll be like, well, okay, 40 minutes. I have 40 minutes. I can do whatever. In 40 minutes, that's a lot of time.
It is.
And I end up standing next to the oven, like looking down every 3 minutes to make sure that nothing's burned. Like, is it okay? Is it okay?
Well, that's the advantage now. Is I've got my office actually in the kitchen, so I can actually have something on the hob, and I can see it from here, so I can monitor my food as it burns.
I had
do a podcast at the same time.
A flatmate one time put on a pot of boiling water and a couple of potatoes in it, and went back to his room. And it burned. Dear. It burned all the water burned out. The potatoes burned onto the pot. Everything was smoked. We got in there. We cleared everything out. They cleaned up the pot. They put it away. They got a new pot. They put on water. They put on potatoes. And they went up to their room. And you would think.
Don't do that. No.
I'm going to
try.
It's
a thing I do. I did actually when I last time I had a flat that I was renting. We kept it in very good condition. It was all lovely, but I did once do the thing with the pan of water, burned off all the water, and of course came back, heard this sort of sizzling sound and this smell of hot. And of course, my first instinct was grab the pan, put it on the side. Then there was a further sizzling sound, and it wasn't my hand. It was actually the worktop. Okay, good. And it just completely bubbles up and absolutely wrecked the worktop. But luckily, I was in some miniature painting.
Like if you have metal handles on the pot or something, then that can be really
that could have been terrible. But it was actually it totally wrecked the worktop. But luckily, I was doing a lot of miniature painting at the time, so I was actually able to basically paint it back in again, so nobody noticed. I don't think it was a remarkable bit of marble work.
Everyone knows.
Don't tell
we want
this is a while ago now.
I'm just trying to get
years back. I think we're good.
Stable cam to work again.
Oh no.
Troubles. It kind of freezes up.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if it's frozen or not, given that nothing's moving at the moment.
It's not
no,
moving.
I promise you, stuff has happened. I mean, not a lot of stuff.
Cheers.
All right. We were discussing this before we went on camera, weren't we? Our respective beverage choices for 2:30 in the afternoon.
One of Bez's basic questions in the questionably quick questions is hot tea or iced coffee, and we've taken both answers off the table. Catherine has the hot tea, and I have the iced coffee. So
yeah. So could be a cultural thing, could just be personal preference. We don't know, but that's what we went for.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not cultural. I don't think Germans do cold beverages very much, especially like I even keep water in the fridge. I keep everything like cooled, and if I don't have anything, then I use ice cubes. And Germans, I'm like, would you like some water? And they're like, sure. And I'm like, well, do you want it from the tap or from the fridge? And they're like, I don't understand. Why would there be water in your refrigerator? Water is a beverage served very mediocre. And I'm like, no.
Yes. I think Germany's the only other country in the world that really goes for warm beer, isn't it?
Oh, no, I don't do warm drinks. Like, no.
Oh,
so
I don't know. I could go for a warm beer right now. Actually, that'd be just lovely.
so I also moved to Germany and I don't drink beer. So there's that.
What a terrible waste! What a terrible, terrible waste.
I get that a lot.
Actually, funnily enough, that's what I was doing, and why I was very nearly late for this podcast was I travelled to Bristol to a lovely little shop that sells craft beer and such like things to pick up something for my father-in-law's 70th birthday. So I drove for an hour just to get some beer.
Wow. Are you guys going to be able to have a party for him, or?
There's a plan for some sort of barbecue, I think. Although goodness knows how that's going to work.
Outside and enough space and all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm told that each family group has a corner of the garden that we are strictly to stay in. So it's going to be hello there. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be lovely.
My birthday's coming up in a week, and I'm gonna have like an online birthday party. I'm just gonna be like, hey guys, I'm online now for a couple hours. Whoever wants to come Skype with me.
Sounds amazing. The way to play it at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, but lockdown birthdays, they're a real challenge actually, I think. We've had quite a few of them now in the family, and I've heard of a lot of other people who've had birthdays sort of come and go. My youngest little girl is sorry, I keep talking over you, Xate. I'm terrible at this podcast business. All yours.
It's not as bad as a lockdown wedding. I've known a couple of couples that got married since Corona, and that just sounds sad. But yeah, especially I think for children with birthdays, like, still pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. It was super sad because my youngest child turned 4 actually on the 23rd of March, which was the day that all of this lockdown business pretty much came into being. And we had the party all organised, the invitations had gone out, all the party bags and everything, and of course it had to be cancelled. So it's a bit sad, but she's been quite understanding. She's got it all planned out. She's going to have a party as soon as lockdown is over. So that's I look forward to that.
I was really looking forward to my birthday this year because Germany, they only really celebrate the rounded birthdays. It's kind of like for an adult, you don't celebrate your like 27th or your 32nd birthday or something. It's the 0 and maybe the 5 if you have friends who are very tolerant. But not. So last year was my rounded birthday, and I'm going to claim it with my 20th.
Good job.
No.
Why not?
No.
I'm sure it must have been.
No. But actually, I did tell someone the other day that I'm 40, and he's like, "No, you're not. Tell me your real age." And I'm like, "I'm 40," and he's like, "No, you're not. Tell me your age." And I'm like, "I'm 50." I don't know. What do you want to hear?
What do you want me to say? I've told you the truth. I can tell you lies if you want.
Like, you're not a day over 32. I'm like, how do you know my age? Because I'm not 32. But I mean, if you know something, let me in on it. I mean, there are a few years I'm fuzzy on from my childhood.
Maybe they didn't happen. Who knows?
But my birthday last year was kind of the worst type of birthday you can have, especially for like a big one. And what's up, Bez?
Yeah, I don't know why this has frozen again.
Oh.
What's on the flow?
It says what's on the floor stays on the floor.
Yeah.
Because the T-Rex can't pick up the die.
I like it.
Poor little T-Rex.
Like someone wanted a T-Rex trying to pick up a die off a table, but that didn't really work out exactly like wanted visually, so it's just on the floor. It's even meaner.
That's a good T-Rex. I like it. He's got that. I can see where he's going.
It's not like this is where the camera is, like just above here, and you can see the camera, which is basically a phone. And I don't know if it's what's happening that here I can see everyone else moving, even on this screen.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh wait.
Has your phone decided to install updates or something? Because that's what usually happens to me if I try to do anything technical.
During the birthday stuff.
It is a requirement of a first stream. You know, when you're starting out some new format or something, it has to have technical difficulties, or else it's never going to go anywhere. It can't be a success unless there's at least like 14.5 things that go wrong the first time you try, right?
Correct.
How do you get 14?
Absolutely, that's right.
I'm, you know, it's a very statistical number. It's very, I calculated that for the show. I was running the odds and, you know, looking at internet statistics and, I mean, you know, I mean, it's
believable.
Yeah, no. I mean, like
the more precise the number, the more believable it is.
Exactly. But like when you were talking to us about your dice that you were making and trying to come up with the new vegan version, have you gotten to 14.5 yet? I mean,
no.
See,
not even.
See? That's why it just hasn't gotten there yet. You know, once she gets to 14.5.
That'll be the one.
Vegan edible dice.
Keep it. There we go. Just another sort of 13 attempts to go, and then we should be there. Oh dear. Don't talk to me about vegan diets.
I feel like almost anything food related right now is not really doable. Like I know I can't do any of my chocolate work right now, or making noodles, or anything that involves making food, just because it's too hot. Like
it is.
Oh, I had my worst chocolate experience. A couple of years ago for my birthday, I wanted to make edible chocolate bowls for the ice cream, because I like ice cream more than cake. So I thought, I'll have ice cream. I'll serve it in edible chocolate bowls. And so I had seen this cool thing how you like blow up a balloon and then you make the chocolate on the outside. You put it in the fridge and it hardens up, and then you can take out the balloon and you have the easy, right?
Yep.
My birthday's in August. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
So
summer birthdays are the worst.
While I was still dipping the balloons and getting them set into the tray, I had like 2 or 3 already done, and I was working on the 4th one. And heat causes the air inside the balloons to expand. And so my 3 not yet completely dried chocolate.
And see if that changes stuff.
Okay. So the 3 balloons that I'd already dipped in chocolate and that were sitting out on the counter all expanded to the point of exploding and throwing chocolate like literally all over. Like I'm still finding. Like, I think like 2 weeks ago I was cleaning something in a like really weird angle, and I was like up like hanging in a weird position like trying to clean something. I'm like, is that chocolate? It was like 3 meters up in the air. It's just like there's chocolate everywhere. So yeah, I don't do summer chocolate works anymore. That just doesn't not a good idea. I think the last thing I made was a couple months ago, because one of my Corona projects has been like learning to do like chocolate pictures, which I'm not an artist. I'm really bad at art, but I've been trying to use the chocolate to like draw like logos and things. And so I made for Quality Beast, which is a company I really, really love. They have really cool games. And I did the first thing I did was I made their logo out of chocolate. So I printed it out and reversed, and then I was just kind of covering over it in chocolate. I don't freehand, but it turned out really well. So that's like, I was like, okay, I'm going to spend Corona learning how to draw in chocolate so that I can offer that as one of the things I do-ish.
Amazing.
Yeah, no. But I have had some fun with it. I made the Dave and Okaluza. I made their logos. That actually Duchess, who's hanging out in here, she actually did the logos, like made the actual logos, and I just stole them and turned them into chocolate. I think she said I could, but if not, I'm going to claim she said I could because she's not saying I couldn't. So
there you go.
And then I did a friend of mine handle is Dutch Yoda, and so I did a Yoda in the background. I made it orange for Holland, for the Netherlands, and it was a Dutch
maybe
Yoda.
It's because I'm trying to upload from 2 locations. It's too much for my internet.
Could be.
Like, yeah, maybe.
Maybe, and he's gone.
Sorry, now we can only
working
hear
now.
you. We can't hear you, but that's okay. Hey, oh my goodness! Wow, thank you, Elaine. It's the 15th. I have my birthday is actually really cool to be in Germany because my thanks, Duchess. My birthday being put around in my passport in the American way. It's 0815 year that I'm not going to say, And in Germany, you do it the other way around. But in Germany, there's a saying: if somebody's 0815, it's like calling that person normal, or like, but like it's kind of meant in a bad way. But I kind of leaned into it in my youth, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the standard of normal because I'm literally born on 0815. So everyone else is totally abnormal. Nobody else is as normal as me. I'm it. So if you guys want to know what normality looks like,
this is it.
This is it. I'm sorry, but I'm normal.
That's very cool. That's really interesting. I always thought the American way of doing dates was really counterintuitive because surely it goes from smallest to largest, and that's the European standard way. But yeah,
I like it better too. But what confuses me is that you guys use feet.
Testing.
We hear you again. But we also hear us
on a really long time delay.
Like a really long time delay.
Wait, am I echoing?
We're all echoing. We can hear us all on your table cam.
There we go.
You're rude. Are you implying that I'm not normal? I mean, that's not. Of course I'm normal.
Hey, define normal. That's what I want to know. What is normal? Ooh.
Me. I just defined it.
Well, that's great. I mean, that solves a lot of problems for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody asking the question, am I normal? Well, no, I'm not, because I'm not her.
Xate's normal. No.
That person there, normal. Me, different.
So Bez out and out and doesn't want to see me and Kath anymore. He just wants to see the drawing. So maybe if you would like to oblige, I don't mind being smaller and the picture larger. I'm also having fun watching the dinosaur come to life. Well, maybe not.
I think that would be the way to do it. I don't think we're quite as interesting to look at as the drawing, if I'm really honest.
Although if the dinosaur does come to life, I would be a little bit worried. But, you know, that would be cool.
Also, I'm watching the dinosaurs, so I'd kind of like to see it in big.
I'm also pro-dinosaur.
I'm generally pro-dinosaur and anti-me if it's, if we're talking about things I want to watch.
Yeah, do you get really self-conscious on camera?
Oh, I don't get self-conscious. There are just more interesting things that I'd like to watch. I've never been self-conscious, but I just have really no interest in watching myself or hearing myself talk. It's not what I want to be doing with my time.
So how do I get to that point of not being self-conscious? Because I'm like worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, they can see me. They can hear me.
I think it comes from life in general and just not caring all that much.
I mean, I'm totally shy. You know, like I'm really shy. So it makes it really hard for me to do something. I put myself out there on camera and stuff because, nobody's going to buy it. But I am shy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not bothered about cameras so much. But the sound of my voice has always been a really big sort of sensitive point for me. That thing where you hear yourself on a recording, and it always gets me every time because I don't really understand what I sound like, and it sort of always throws me a little bit.
I've been dealing with that today, especially with the project that I said I can't talk about on Stuff by Bez because Bez can't hear me talk about the thing. But related to similar things like that I'm not going to talk about, and definitely don't want to make anyone curious.
Oh, I'm not curious at all.
My friend Aquasulis and I have been doing some stuff together.
Some incredibly secret stuff that nobody should be in the least curious about.
Definitely not. No. I mean...
But that's been making you feel self-conscious about your voice. Now that's interesting. That's a clue, but a really, really, really small clue. You
see, Aquasulis is like an incredibly good musician. In fact, he jumped in on the Loser stream a week ago and did this improv thing, and just like he had like I don't know how many instruments, maybe 5,000 or something. I'm probably slightly exaggerating, and it was just like, and I'm just like, I'm not that person. I'm the person who I'm even self-conscious.
Says that I should use the other camera, but the problem is that the other camera is attached to my laptop, and so even if I turn it down all the way, you can't really see the thing.
That's not bad. That's actually okay. What you've just done there is reasonable. It's upside down, so you'd have to invert the image in some way, but that's actually okay.
I mean, I can't invert the image. I think you're asking me to do the impossible there.
You could ask all of your viewers to turn their monitors upside down. That would be a thing.
And that makes us very athletic. Like we can suddenly stand on our heads, both of us. Like that. That's cool.
Yes.
You could draw it
Absolutely.
upside down. If you just turn the paper upside down, it would.
Perhaps if we just sort of do this and we can pretend.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh,
Alan's already gone for it and turned the laptop over. I totally believe Alan. Alan would
Good
never
job.
lie to us.
nope.
I mean, Alan's a very serious person to take very seriously, I believe. Definitely.
Well, that's ideal.
Can you actually see it okay this way?
Yeah, it's actually there's not as much glare either from the windows this way. So
yeah, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's kind of 8 out of 10, reasonably easy to see, albeit upside down. But that's a work in progress. Episode 1 upside down. Episode 2 maybe the right way up. Who knows? We'll see.
Only
do you want to promise too much?
Only maybe. Depends on who the guest is, really.
Yes, don't overpromise. Episode 2 may or may not be orthogonally correct. We'll see.
She said orthogonally. I told you this is a good stream.
Winning.
That's the key word. Now all we need to do is sing ducks and squirrels and ice cream, and we'll be golden.
Oh yes.
I forgot what we were talking about, but it was probably
Me
something
too.
totally uninteresting. So there's that.
Yeah. That's how conversation goes, though, isn't it? You get into a really interesting sort of area of conversation, and then somebody says something even more interesting about a different thing, and tangents happen. Many tangents. So,
Okay, so going with the standing on your head thing, can you actually stand, or could you at any point in your youth stand on your head? Could you do it?
I could actually. I was, I believe I could. I'm pretty sure I could. I used to do all sorts of really unbelievably athletic things when I was young, which I'm now just completely broken and can't do anything whatsoever. Although I can still get my feet behind my head, so that's a thing. But yeah, I used to be very gymnasticy.
Okay, come on, prove it. Prove it.
I don't want to. Oh no, not on camera.
You said you can do it.
I don't know if I can do it with headphones on.
Oh my word! You really can do it.
Wait, did we?
Not
did I
quite
just
so
miss?
well on a bar
You missed it. Yeah.
Yes, you did. You missed it, and I'm not doing it again.
Oh.
We need to get Catherine on for a game of In a Bond.
Yes.
I'll bet on
Oh, you know, I'm doing that for UK Games Expo.
You are. That's awesome. That's fun.
That'll be fun. Oh.
In a Bond was really fun. I had a lot of time. I got fun getting to work with Bez, coming up with some rules for that, and then getting to play it on the Bez Day stream those 3 days. It was just it was fun watching people have fun with something that I was like part of.
Yes.
I feel like the more you're part of something, the more invested you are also in other people enjoying it. Like it wasn't. I didn't want it just to be like, oh yeah, so I did it. But the fact that other people were like laughing along and having fun.
Yeah. It's just wonderful. It's the best feeling. So.
Yeah, and just like having people laugh. Like, I mean, there were some crazy things going on in those In a Bond streams. I mean, the first day, seeing someone get 20 cards done, where they're just like, I don't know how. Like, I can do 3, but only if all of the cards are like really easy.
Only with a Pritt stick. I actually bought a copy of Yogi just so that we could play In a Bond, believe it or not, because I really enjoyed it, and I think it'd be absolutely perfect as part of our Christmas repertoire. We always have enormous Christmases here as a sort of a let's get everybody together kind of thing, and we always play loads of ridiculous games, but I just think that would be a real winner.
Andrew January is also saying they had a lot of fun playing, so that's exciting. But I mean, I'm not really the party game type of person. So that's something like actually since Corona, it's has been challenging like what type of gamer I am, because pre-Corona, I would probably not have played any of the games that I've been playing in the last 4 months. So now all the games that have become like my go-to games, my favorite games, the games I'm looking forward to, they all end up being games that I didn't even like give the time of day to pre-Corona. Have your gaming taste also evolved?
No, I don't think so. Actually, in a way, I am a party games person. That is very much my forte. I'm all about anything with a traitor mechanic. I'll play, and party games. I'm really big on those. Obviously,
so
real life. I am by nature, yes. That is very much what I like to do. I love anything like that. I'm just trying to figure it out as well. So trying to puzzle out what people's social cues are and that kind of thing. Great fun. With that said, that doesn't scratch the same itch as perhaps a Euro game or another type of game. So I do like both. And realistically, party games only work in certain environments anyway. So one has to have other types of game that one enjoys as a backup. But no, I've actually found Lockdown to be really quite good for that type of thing. But I think if you're what is your game preference? What would you be playing ideally?
I'm a heavy Euro gamer.
Yeah.
So
I was going to guess, but that's what I would have guessed had I done so.
I like playing and teaching, like Trismegistus and Teotihuacan and that kind of Anachrony. Those are like my go-to type of games. My favorite game is Scythe. It's not quite as heavy. I would consider Scythe like a mid-weight game.
Yes.
But it's got the steampunk universe, and I really love that. Like, yeah.
I love a steampunk universe. We I don't know. Have you ever played the original Android, from which Android Netrunner was actually drawn? That same universe. Brilliant, lovely environment. Quite heavy, really enjoyable.
I
recommend that one.
I'm pretty new to board gaming, actually. I've only been into board games for, I guess, maybe like 5 years or something.
Yeah, so I think that classifies as new within,
Yeah, I mean, it was basically when I was still part of an us. The other half of us needed I asked, to meet his best friend, and so he organized a game night with her, and she started coming over, and we hit it off really well, actually better than they hit it off. We're best friends now, and he's out of the picture. So,
you kept her in the.
I kept her in the divorce, and so she's been coming over for 5 years every Sunday, and she just kind of introduced me to games. She's like, "Well, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game," and at first I was just kind of like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Doing this to be friendly and to be entertaining, and she was bringing over the kind of games you bring over to introduce someone to board gaming. So there was a lot of like co-op games, and there was a lot of like pretty easy-ish type of games.
Yeah,
and I was
Settlers.
not. And then at one point, someone in one of her other game groups canceled. They couldn't be there to a game night, and she asked him to go, and he couldn't, so he sent me. And they were playing heavier games, and I was like, "Well, what is this? Like, okay, I can play this." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So that changed everything. Like from that point on, it started being, the heavier games. It started being more strategic, and I've started loving it. And then a couple of years ago, I got the first chance to go to board game convention, and then it kind of snowballed from there. The way that things snowball when you once you get in, you kind of just go down this rabbit hill of all the options. But it also means like all the games that were out like before 5 years ago that everyone else has played, I played some of them, but not very many, because
That's fantastic. That's great. That's like only having learned to read in the last 5 years, and you've got all of literature suddenly open to you, and that's a wonderful thing.
And there's so many people who can teach it. I hate reading rules. I'm not a rules reader, and it's really nice because a lot of people know a lot of games, and they know them really well. And so pretty much any classic game, I can just be like, anyone want to teach me that? And it works.
That's definitely the way to meet a new game anyway. I mean, however well somebody reads the rules, there are always a number of things that you find over the years you've got wrong or, misinterpreted in some way. I am a rules reader. I would rather not be, but I am by default, because I'm more of a rules double checker. What I find is my husband will read the rules and he'll set everything up and say, right, this is how it works. And I'll be there in the background just quietly reading the rule book and saying, actually, darling, I think we're fine. So, but if I was the one to read them first, then it would be much wronger than this way around. So that's how it tends to work.
I taught a game at an entire convention without knowing one of the rules. And then the second time I was at a convention teaching the same game, one of the people I was demoing the game to said, "But what about this rule? Can't you use a blood sack to change the color of the die?" And I'm like, "What? No, you can use it to change the number, not the." Oh, wait, hold on. The rules say I can do both.
Oh yeah, I've seen sort of really well-known sort of tabletop-based podcasts where they have played a game that I'm very familiar with, and they've played it not just a bit wrong, but so wrong that it's an utterly different game. And you're sort of watching it; it's fascinating. Wow, okay, that's like a whole different interpretation of this game.
So what do you think about that? Like, is that okay if people are playing a game incorrectly and enjoying it?
If it's still fun, yeah, great, fantastic. But I mean, I'm still going to write in and say, "Excuse me, I think you'll find." It's the happy days. If they can get some joy out of utterly cocking it up, then feel free.
That's also a difference between, are they just playing it at home incorrectly, or are they playing it like on a stream or something to teach other people, to show other people the game? Because
that's my concern. It's like, don't teach them wrong. You're teaching everybody wrong. You're making this game look worse than it is, and it should be so much better.
If you house rule them, some game rules are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. And I think house rules, I've got a lot of time for house rules. I think 50% of our collection we have house rules for, which is fine. But there's tweaking to maybe scoring systems or to turn structure or whatever, and then there's utterly reinterpreting the game so that it's unrecognizable and just doesn't work. I won't tell you the specific example that immediately springs to mind, but we had a good laugh about that one.
Please do.
Because to be fair, it's a really good podcast, and I don't want to be mean to them, but it was just fascinating to watch. Heavy Euro games. I love a heavy Euro. I'm a bit hyper competitive. That's the problem, and I'm also quite good at them. So I don't play them too often. Certain ones do love me, and people don't want to play against me.
So you like and are good at Teotihuacan, is what I'm hearing.
No, I've never played it actually. For the last, I think similar to you, but opposite. For the last 5 years, I've barely played games at all, bar the lighter end of the spectrum, just because small children have been around, and so actually we've almost missed each other. 5 years ago, yes, I was deep into games. For the last 5 years, I've really been sort of very much a dabbler. Conventions
I can beat Teotihuacan on Board Game Arena if you'd like at some point. We could Skype and play.
I would love to. That would be great. Yeah, I'd really like that.
The only downside is on BGA you can't house rule. You have to play according to the programming. And for Teotihuacan, I actually do have. I play almost exclusively with just my one friend. It's like our wind down game after everyone else has gone home. We play Teotihuacan. Just to close out the evening with a nice simple.
Nice simple heavy Euro.
Yeah, the way you do. Maybe that and then Targi just to end the night. And so we don't like the way that the rules set up for 2 players is, because you always have a 4-player game basically, and some of the dice are just blocking some of the spots.
I see.
And they block them for the entire epoch if they're not actually player dice. And then between each of the 3 epochs, you change where they are. But that means that a lot of actions get very, very expensive. There's not much. There's just not much happening. You know that for the entire next epoch, this thing's going to be pretty much blocked. And you can account for that. You can plan for it. Everyone's on the same footing. But it also takes out that slight little thing of, oh, you just went there right when I was going to go there, and it was so cheap, and now you went there and it's expensive. It takes out that kind of like Spannung. I don't know the best English word. That like energy of like, will that spot still be totally cheap and I can go there without paying to go there when it gets to my turn? Or when the 3 people go, will it suddenly have 2 dice on it and I can't go there anymore because I don't have enough cocoa? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sort of an excitement and a... Yeah.
And so I created decks of cards for the 2 other players. And it has like a dice symbol set to number 1, 2, or 3. And then we put out the dice in that color. It's a red and a blue deck. The red dice of 1, the red dice of 2, the red dice of 3, and then each card has each dice has a +1, +2, and a +3 card, and there's one that says just reshuffle the deck, so you never know. Okay, well this card's already been seen. We're not going to see it again, and so you have these cards for both colors, and they sit between us, and we gave them names. They have character names, and they play along with us, and we get mad at them when they block us, and we say thank you to them when they move away from something we wanted to use, and we pretend they're actually at the table. Playing along.
I love that so much.
Tensions, tension's a good word.
Okay.
Tension, yeah. And so, and I actually did put that file up on Board Game Geek, and I got a lot of people who said thank you, it helps a lot. Well, not a lot, but like 3 people said, "Oh, thanks, that's helpful," and like 3 people said, "How dare you? House rules are horrible. There's a rule to account for the dummy player." And just like,
let's do what it says in the book.
No,
like,
forget about those people.
I'm just like, well, then don't use it. Like,
exactly. Whatever works, ultimately, isn't it? And I think it's absolutely true to say that, you know, the original rules as written in the rule book are incredibly unlikely to be the best iteration of rules for any given game. You know, that's why playtesting exists. It's a sort of a gradual process, and you improve upon that game. But at some point, you have got to publish it, or you're never going to make any money. Ultimately,
it's not just that, but games are for like the average person. Do you know what I mean? And no single person, no single group is that average person.
Yeah,
I agree.
Andrew also says he loves the idea of persistent take players. Yeah. And I mean, I think Teotihuacan's a great example. It's an amazing game if you have 4 people at the table and they're all pretty balanced with how well they know the game and how well they play it. It's awesome. Yeah. But if you don't have exactly 4 players, or if one player knows exactly what they're doing and the other 3 don't, it gets to be a little bit less fun. So
I think rules for different number of players are often written as an afterthought, honestly. You know, will it work with 2? If they do these things, that can work. But I think actually that's a really great place to introduce house rules. I got really obsessed with playing Agricola single player. So I've spent hours and hours and hours soloing through Agricola. You know, I'm a very sad person like that. It's like solitaire, and I just love it. But you know, there are quite a few places where one can tweak the rules as presented just to make it more fun. Because actually, what does it matter? I'm playing against myself, so you know, I can play however I damn well like. And
I've never played Agricola, so there we go.
It's a great game, but honestly, much more fun on your own.
Did you say you've never played Agricola, Xate?
Nope, too old.
Great game. Great game. You'd love it if you like heavy Euros. It's a lovely game. But I think
it's not so many sheep. It just
there are lots of sheep. I mean, actually, it's great. It's really lovely game. But I have played it in groups. I actually prefer it on my own because then I can do what I want and I don't have other people blocking me from optimizing my game. I like to play optimally.
I also like to change out part of components in games. So, like, if I were to play Agricola, and if I happen to have a copy of something like Dinosaur Island, I would be the person who takes away the sheep and puts in the dinosaurs.
Brilliant.
Like,
I love that.
Like we play Targi, and I have the Carcassonne dragon instead of the robber because we don't like the robber. It just looks stupid. So we use the dragon. It's a much more interesting game if you're fleeing from the dragon than if you're fleeing from some robber. You know.
It's finished. It's beautiful. It is a work of art. Love it.
That is gorgeous. So who is that for,
crying?
Oh, the blinds are. The sun has shifted, and now the blinds are making.
It's okay. We can see.
Stripy, but it looks fine. Looks fine to camera.
Yeah. Who requested that one?
That was the designer of Welcome to Dino World. I keep forgetting their name. But basically, that was a very overdue one.
And very on brand, then.
Yes, because they wanted a dinosaur.
Nice.
I could actually find a game just to remember who it was. I'm that bad at names.
Well, that'll be on their Instagram feed later today, I reckon. It would be if it was me.
Oh, I think it was pretty good looking. I mean,
I
can't draw a dinosaur. Maybe in chocolate, but it wouldn't look like that.
No, I'd have to copy it from something, or
definitely.
Maybe have a plastic dinosaur stuck on the side and sketch that. But brilliant! Well, this has been so much fun. Alas, I'm going to have to wind down in about 10 minutes, Xate, but I'm going to go and collect a child from a water sports day, apparently.
That sounds fun. I wish I was at a water sports day.
I know. Well, it sounds possibly fatal. It's only 4, bless her, so I dread to think. It's very accident prone.
I spent quite a bit of time on that one. That was like...
Yeah, that was a long one.
50 minutes, 50 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, well, I should do at least one more before caffeinated.
A quick one. Just a nice quick... A sketch.
Oh, that's it. Andrew January. It was James O'Connor, I think. By the way, I did Sorry, never mind, carry on. I mean, it's just kind of interesting how the way people are credited, it never really explains who did what. And I think that's why it's important, and why I would like to encourage anyone who's watching, especially those who are entering the design contests in future, to kind of keep a track of kind of all your playtesters, and especially those who contribute specific parts of it. Because if it wasn't for me, yeah, there wouldn't be visitor cards in that game, which I think is a big part of it. And yeah, it feels like, okay, I'm credited in the rule book, but you don't know exactly what I did, whereas someone else, it's like, okay, they did a one-player game, okay, people know that that player did that. But
that's why when I was doing my playtesting things, I just told everybody basically I'm not going to credit anyone specifically unless something comes of the playtest that actually changes the game. So because I had a lot of people playtesting my games one time or maybe two times, and all they did was play it and say that was nice, or a little bit. I mean, they would say a little bit, but I mean, it basically ended up they played the game, they had their response to the game. I took notes on the response to the game, but it didn't do anything to change how I played it. And I said, if anyone does actually do something that changes it, I feel like that. But I don't want to be like, these are all my playtesters, and I list 16 names, and then there's one person in there who said something that changed a rule, and everyone else just played it once, and that person played it 14 times, and they changed a rule, and they're just listed as playtester. I was like, well,
yeah. I guess that's where digital credits probably come in, because you don't want to add too much to the paper real estate that's included in the box unnecessarily. But
I mean, I know it adds money, but it's like, how much do you value people knowing about this stuff?
True. But I think perhaps digital credits, you could go into some real detail and sort of really give people their due, and also for people who are curious and want to know, where did this idea come from and where did that aspect come from. You could really drill down into the detail, on a website or similar. So that might be one way to do that. But I do agree. I don't think it's always very easy to identify, particularly with a group of designers at the top level, who actually did what, unless it's this guy designed it, this guy did the pictures. You don't really ever get that level of detail. So yeah, I think it would be always fascinating to understand which individuals, which concepts actually came from.
I really wish I could get the camera up here working. I might give it another go.
All right. Hey, Dutch, nice to see you stopping by. Thank you. What is this picture? What are we getting now, Bez?
Well, I'm looking up ducks on Google, but this is going to be quite a stylized duck.
A stylized duck? All right.
So, sounds delicious.
What are we serving the duck with? It's dangerous to go to. It's dangerous to start drawing animals when you have two food people.
Yeah.
We might take this in a different direction.
I'm afraid so. It's awful. We've always got this sort of in the back of our mind. I love being described as a food person. But it's true.
Dice are food. Well, I mean, the way you make dice.
Dice are food. Dice can be food. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, have you heard Elaine's song? Board games are good, but board games are not food, apparently.
I have not.
No.
Is Elaine still here? Does she want to sing it for us?
It sounds factually incorrect.
Board games are good. Board games are good. Board games are good, but board games are not food. If you try to eat a meatball, it will not taste very good unless you are a woodlouse, because board games are not food. Board games are not food.
Heather, I think you need to use this. I think
I was about to say that.
You need to partner with Elaine and get some viral advertising going on with board games not being food, and then have Elaine like eating your board game components while she's singing this or something.
That would be amazing. Yeah, there's something the anti-version of that song. I really
board games are food. Board games are food.
unless they are made of wood.
I think I would
don't
leave
know.
it as the ante. Like, board games are not food, but she's still eating it. So everyone's like, wait, what? How's she? Wait. And then at the end, your logo like comes up and like, buy here. You know, like.
Perfect.
I've started practicing how to do marketing and stuff now. That's something I'm supposed to be learning over the next couple months. So this is my attempt right there. There we go. Board games are not food.
You're spot on with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
so now I can use it as a reference, right? So when I'm like, yeah, okay. I gave marketing advice to Catherine Morgan of HONEYBADGER Games.
Absolutely. Put your name somewhere.
Totally usable board gaming food advice. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, I could really do with some.
Try one more time on here.
Oh, still technically improving. Technology.
Big window so we can see the drawing. Have I asked too many times now? Asks Alan.
No, because it hasn't happened yet. So you've got to keep asking until it does. That's
yeah, Alan. I mean, this is the whatever you want, we'll do it show. So you want big windows, and you cannot lie.
Big windows.
Then
to be fair, though, I feel like
I knew I'd get that out of bed. So that's another point for me. Oh, I didn't tell you the other competition. So one competition is make Bez break character and laugh. The other one is get Bez to break into song. So I'm winning currently. I mean, I didn't tell you that these were games we were playing, but we were, Catherine, and you're losing. So sorry.
Terribly. I'm losing terribly. I'm so sorry.
And if you would like
to what I was thinking.
If you would like to suddenly make up a game that you're winning at, that's also perfectly legal.
Terrific. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of not very good at making up games, to be honest. Oh dear. When we did UKGE last year, the pretty much the moment we got there, I started a competition to sell the most things to somebody wearing pink, and to be the first person to sell something to a Viking. That was another one. I won that one. Yes. Yeah, I have a co-exhibitor, so between the two of us, every time somebody walked past dressed as a Viking, it's like, right. Big smiles. By myself.
Is there a rule in there that you can't tell them? Be like, here's £5. Buy one of these from me, so I'm winning the competition.
No, we're not allowed to tell them that they're part of it. That's definitely in the rules. No.
Okay.
So we've done this at pretty much every event now. You know, we just come up with some sort of random competition.
I like that.
Just to liven things up a bit, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, sitting in the booth all day can get kind of monotonous. So you need to be doing something. Yeah, you need to be having something going on other than just the obvious.
You do. I mean, I have a massive advantage actually, because I sell things that retail at £4.50, and my co-exhibitor sells solid silver necklaces. So I'm obviously substantially more likely to sell to any given passerby. But that's life, you know. I chose that character, and that's why. So I
mean, they could have made their necklaces out of, gummy and.
Absolutely, and they didn't. So that was a.
Why don't they make candy necklaces? I mean,
you've got to ask. Maybe I should.
Please don't. Did you have those? Did you guys have those as children? Was that something like British as well?
Yeah, those little beads with like the pale blue, and
you're just like.
Yeah,
I can't believe
they still exist.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my children love them, and they do that thing. They sort of suck them for a while, and then later they're sort of dripping off them.
Oh no! No.
The hygiene ramifications are just. Anyway, that's a concept that should never have been. But there we go. But then again, I get told that about my dice sometimes. Oh, they're so unhygienic. You know, if you roll one or if you suck one, then you can't roll it. And I'm thinking, are you really going to do that? Is that where your mind went? You saw some gummy dice and you thought, I know what I'll do. I'll take a bite and then I'll roll it.
Well, actually, that's not a bad idea. I mean, if you're really bad at like D&D and you're always rolling a natural one, just bite it off.
Yep.
You can't get a 1 anymore.
This is true. This is a good point. Well, I'm
marketing trick.
Well, I do use that as a little marketing trick because there isn't actually a 1 on any of my dice.
Oh.
So, you know, with the way that I mould them, there's always one blank face, and so obviously that's the 1. So in actual fact, you cannot roll a 1, and so that is a marketing plus. There is no 1.
Unless, of course, you're doing one of the Lovecraftian role-playing games where a 1 is actually better than a 20.
True.
I've played several.
Yes. Yeah, those are probably not so ideal. But I think conceptually for me, it's like you're probably not going to actually play with these dice. Not that you can't; they do roll. You can roll them, but I think it's just a different mindset, isn't it? You know, here is a novelty product. Surely it must be functional. That's two different ways of looking at it.
I mean, I was thinking about it, and my gaming friend, like, she would go crazy for those. She's very into role-playing games too, and all that kind of stuff. She has a different game group every night, and I definitely think that would be the kind of gift to get her. And I was thinking, like, but if I did, I think it would only be fun because every year we do some kind of edible board game birthday party. I throw weird birthday parties for her. She's the one I did the patchwork pizza party for, where we played Patchwork Doodle while making pizza, and various other board gaming events in the past. And and so, like, I was like, well, we'll just have each of us have like one little dessert plate next to us as our dice tray, and we roll our own dice onto our own little dice tray plate, and then it's fine, right?
Oh, that would work really well, actually. And then obviously you can sort of gradually go through them as the evening progresses. But yeah, I just have these visions of people playing on baize gaming tables, you know, sort of picking up.
Oh, that's disgusting. Picking up all the fluff and then putting it into your mouth. What's that all about?
As you can tell, I have not been doing a marketing course over the summer.
I don't know. I mean, from a housekeeping point of view, I mean, from an edible dice point of view, that's not a great thing. But if you were going to remarket them as a household aid, you know, help clean your game table in an authentic manner. You can, you know, defuzz your gaming table with edible dice.
We should stop this conversation because I'm going to go bankrupt any moment as people just totally put off everything I've ever made.
Delete my purchases.
They are definitely for eating primarily. Although I've had some people say that they've had a lot of fun sort of tricking their players, so sort of DMs specifically, and some really cute little tricks, which I don't actually want to say on camera, but there's some lovely ideas people have told me when they bought them. I thought that is brilliant. That would be really so fun for your players. But I can't say it. It would ruin it. For
but that would ruin the surprise for everyone. But
we don't mention things that we can't talk about further, like things that I did with Aquasulis earlier today. We wouldn't want to get people interested and wanting to know more, and then just not talk about it.
No, definitely not. That's the thing we'd never do.
No. We're very decent people.
Speaking of which, I ordered my labels for my new products that I'm not telling anyone what they are yet today. So that was really awesome.
So what do the labels say?
They say some things that I can't tell you.
Tell me more about the labels, not the products. I would never ask you about the products, but tell me about the labels, specifically the wording on the label.
Well, I have actually included one of my favorite puns, which I really don't think half of my audience are going to necessarily understand, but I wanted to do a product called Lick Black Math Rocks. Click Clack Math Rocks, is that a phrase that anyone has used? Well, anyway, Lick Black Math Rocks.
I'll open it up to chat. Has anyone ever heard this phrase? And can anyone guess what the new product is? If you can, you can win a prize. The prize is we'll be impressed.
Yes, exactly. I think it's a dice collector's thing. It's Click Clack Math Rocks. I've seen it said a lot of times. I was like, well, I'm going to take that. So that's what one of the products is called, and that's all you're getting. I will go on then. I'll give you one more because this is another one of my all-time favorites. So rhubarbarian and custard is another one.
I already know about those dice. You've showed us those dice.
I did, but I probably didn't. I might not have mentioned what they were called, or I might have done. I lose track, but that's another one. So
Andrew January doesn't get the reference, but does appreciate the pun, so that's good.
Great, happy days.
And I don't appreciate rhubarb and custard, but I'm sure other people would.
I'm hoping that in this, at least in the UK, that will be a fairly well-known flavour.
Hey, Aqua, I have definitely not been talking about anything that we've been doing today that we can't talk about yet today. Definitely not. Hi.
No, it's barely been mentioned at all, if at all.
Okay. Andrew January is excited about the rhubarb and custard. So I guess that maybe that's a more localized flavor. I don't know. Germans like rhubarb too.
Well, you know what's rhubarb and custard?
Do you not know? Is that?
Why would you not want rhubarb and custard?
Oh, I see. Yes, well, quite. I can't imagine why anyone wouldn't want that.
Maybe that's the European thing. Like, Germans love it too. I do not. Any of my American friends still hanging out in chat? Do you guys like rhubarb and custard?
I'd love to know, actually. I'd love to know.
Steph or Duchess or anybody?
Actually, you've touched on a really interesting point there, actually. It's the American market and the flavors that market wants is very different. So when we first started selling sort of broadly into that channel, the requests for flavors that we were getting were so different. You know, one of them was grape. And I was thinking, grape?
No,
is that a thing?
Fake grape. It's not. It doesn't taste like grapes. It doesn't taste like the fruit. It's a very specific flavor of fake grape that at some point in the, I don't know, 40s or something, they decided this is what grape tastes like now.
Okay.
But it's not, and it's also very gross.
Oh, I won't bother then. But strawberry flavor is one that's always got me. You know, in sweets.
It doesn't taste like strawberries. And the Americans do fruit flavors.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah,
But,
I mean, I won't say that all of my fruit flavors are completely, absolutely as God made them, but you know,
I do that with my chocolate flavors. I definitely do weird combinations of chocolates and flavor that other people like. My friend Danielle once asked me if I could make up a flavor for her using coconut for something, and she's like, pair it with something and make it unique. And I'm like, coconut. Ugh. I'm
Mango.
not. I did. What is Holunderblüte in English? Some kind of little flowery elderberry. Is that a thing?
Yeah, elderberry.
You can tell how much the
elderberry coconut
camera is lagging now because I'm holding this up and it's still.
Aqua, good timing. I believe I know who that one is for. The duck eating ice cream. Aqua forgot to say it needed to be on a well because it's ducks and squirrels and ice creams and wells and.
Oh wait, it should have some yellow. Why is there not?
That clearly needs an explanation. Why a duck eating an ice cream on a well? Exactly. I'm not even going to try and guess.
Well, a lot of my friends who have been hanging out and chat with us today are also group fans from the Losapalooza Twitch channel, and they do random board gaming and not quite so board gaming improv and operas for us in the middle of their totally normal board gaming channel. And they'll ask some questions and then do their thing. And one of the songs that they ended up doing for someone was about, they had to say their favorite things or something. And Lisa said she loves ducks and she loves squirrels and she loves, well, ice cream's always been like an ongoing thing in our channel. And so they did a song and it was incredible. And it's called Ducks and Squirrels and Ice Cream. And it's cinematic in glory. And the wells are because we use wells for everything. It was like, I think it's from, is it from Big City, My City? What's the actual name of the game? We always call it the wrong thing because they start singing the name, but they don't sing the actual name of the game. But and there's a well in there. And then we started doing all these well puns and going well too far. And so wells have become we kind of latch on to stuff and it becomes like running gags, and that happens a lot. And so there's maybe like 5,672,000 different jokes that we all have as a collective. And
all the best groups have many in jokes.
Yeah, My City.
That's absolutely essential.
Oh man, we need some in jokes.
And we play My City, but we don't ever just say My City. We play My City.
So that is the duck eating ice cream.
And Well doesn't even know what we were talking about. Thank you for the well.
You did draw him very well, so I mean that will have to do.
Yeah.
Why him? It could be any gender of dog. Oh, wait.
Actually,
green. It's him because it's the green head. He's a drake.
That is a him. You definitely do a him. Yep.
I shows how little I know about ducks. I just look up a random picture on the internet and I copied a picture.
Well, you copied correctly because the females are very brown and boring. So
yeah,
I copied the picture. It was like more just to vaguely get the colours. It wasn't actually
a reference photograph of the animal in question.
It was actually an actual duck that looks exactly like that, like
with an ice cream.
It was one of those nature photographs. You know, it won best photo of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed. I didn't think anyone would have photographed a duck eating ice cream. But
Oh yeah, there's tons of them. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole Pinterest devoted to, you know, people taking pictures of actual ducks eating actual ice creams.
Ducks with ice cream.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to claim that again in the way that I do and make you believe me again in the way that I do.
You think?
You'd be amazing at lying games. You'd be really good at those party games where you have to tell lies and make people believe you.
I am. The problem is the second time you play with me, you automatically assume I'm the bad person, no matter what. I'm always from game 2 on. I will always be the first person thrown out of any game where it's an. Yeah,
that is a problem. If you're too good, then yeah, that's it. You're just a first turn lynch.
Everyone's like, well, Xate's obviously the traitor, and if not, we might as well get rid of her anyway because we'll never believe anything she says anyway. Because
she's too dangerous.
Yeah. Aw,
Right.
that's kind of you, Steph. Of course I'm not the bad guy. Never. I'm innocent.
It will never happen. Alas, I'm going to have to say goodbye for today and hope that I can come back because I feel like we've barely even scratched the surface of conversation. But
I definitely think we have more to talk about. I mean, this show basically came up as an excuse for me to get you back on stream and hang out with you more. It's just like, how can I do that? How can I trick her into being my friend? If I try really hard, I can get Bez involved in it, maybe some artwork and some people in the chat to make it seem like I'm not just chatting with her. I don't want to come across needy. Wait, am I saying this out loud? Oh shoot.
We'll do it again soon. It'd be brilliant. I love chatting. It's great. I can think of so many more things I want to talk to you about, but we haven't even gone there yet. So we'll come back to it next time. But otherwise, I'm gonna have a very, very cross little girl if I don't go quite soon.
Yes, you should go. And yet stuck. I need tricks. How else am I gonna make you guys be my friend? I mean, come on. I mean, I sent you chocolate that looks like you. Is that not a trick?
That's a good trick.
It's popping up in chat. He's the one I was telling you about my chocolate art. I did a Yoda for him. So
I saw the strip. It looked absolutely fantastic. Made me. It actually gave me thoughts and ideas, and I thought, oh, I maybe could do something a bit.
Hey, let's steal my idea. So it has a thin layer in the middle of mint chocolate, and because you can't draw with flavored chocolate, it seizes up. So I put mint chocolate in the middle, and then I backed it to make it stable. I did dark chocolate with espresso powder.
Oh
so
wow!
It's an espresso
nice.
mint Dutch Yoda, or it was. I hear that it did not survive.
Sounds delicious. And it was delicious. Okay, right. Well, I must go, I'm afraid.
It was great chatting with you.
And it's been great chatting with you both, and I absolutely love the duck and the dinosaur. They
hope that your daughters had a great day, and see you soon.
See you very soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Hope that your daughters had a great day, and see you soon. Yeah, there are definitely some tech issues. I would like to try to sort this out and try to get this working.
That was a cute picture of you, actually, that still that just came through. Your table camera, it had like just a still picture of just looking up at you with like half a wave and like one eye, and it was actually a really cute pic.
Yeah, Alan, I know that you want basically something like this, but with the table cam. But what if I... Hold on. I'm going to try taking off the headphones here and close this window.
Ooh. So now I can say whatever I want. So basically that was our show for today. So if anyone's desperate to get back to work and doesn't want to be watching us do tech stuff, that's okay. We'll understand. Come back again next time. But otherwise, keep chatting along and talking along, because why not? As long as we're still doing tech stuff, we might as well have you along for the ride. So I am not going to sing the bye-bye song. That's definitely a Bez thing, and Aquasulis can do it maybe, but I don't sing. You know me. I
just assumed that I was going to draw a bit more. Can you hear me still?
I can still hear you. You want to keep going? That's fine with me. I can keep chatting with the chat if the chat wants to hang out and chat with me.
Yeah, let me try
I
and get
try.
this to be landscape orientation. Come on, Fortune.
Dutch claims that
Change.
that I force him to sing all the time, but then again, Dutch has never actually done it. Well, okay, once. You did do it for the baby lose a shark thing. I give you credit for that, in a very funny one. I actually forced a lot of people to sing for the loser stream. A lot of people who really didn't want to sing ended up singing for me. But I feel like that's fair because I did the rap, and that was a lot worse than everybody else. Like everyone else had these like beautiful little bits where they're doing something funny and quirky and they're singing a quirky fun song, and I did this whole rap. And I mean, I'm a white girl, I can't rap. It was really bad. Yes. So yes, that did kind of sort of sing in the opera, but that wasn't me forcing him. I mean, I was trying to force him, but I wasn't being very successful. I mean, I tried. I missed the encore game because of other stuff that I had to do on that day. That was during the Bez Day stream, and so I was here doing this, acting normal. But I would have very much liked to see that. And if the encore game is somewhere visible, I would love to go back and watch that because I heard that it was amazing.
Encore game?
Yeah, while we were on stream doing Bez Day.
From Loozapalooza.
Well, it was actually part of Gen Con. Duchess was running a couple of different events for that, and she had a game of Encore that I don't really know much about it. It's a musical type of game. You're supposed to list stuff in songs in a category, and then I guess you sing them as well, or something, sort of like that. I don't really know, but they were doing that, and a lot of the Loozapalooza people went over and joined in that. I know that Yoda played. I think Steph, did you play in that too? I don't know who exactly played because I wasn't there, but it sounded like a lot of fun. And when I heard about it at night, I was like, man, I wish I'd been there. That sounded like that was kind of cool. But oh, okay, no. But we were playing in a bond at that time.
I'm looking up Groot, and I'm looking up squirrels.
You can use my Groot picture. It doesn't have to be the actual Groot. I mean, I just basically meant a tree that is personalized, like a...
Too late, I've already Googled it. I've typed in, 5 letters and pressed enter. I'm not
I guess we're stuck. Okay. The squirrel's more important.
I'm committed.
Okay, you're committed. But I'm a female group. Yeah, just a tree with a face. Exactly, Dutch. Just draw your favorite tree and make me look pretty. I want to be a pretty tree, though, not just any tree. So what Bez is drawing is on the Bez Day stream, we were allowed to tweet in suggestions for things that we would like to see get drawn, and Bez is drawing them. And we didn't get to them during the Bez Day stream because there were too many people saying too many interesting things. And so we decided there's always time to stream and draw and say less interesting things. So that's what I'm here for. I'm saying less interesting things, so Bez gets some artwork done. And I get to watch, which is fun, and chat with you guys, which is also fun. So, and I am so unartistic that even like the simplest, like I could maybe draw a stick tree, like maybe. I mean, I don't even like do real art for our games, like everyone else does like really pretty stuff when we play Patchwork. I just fill in the squares. Yeah. But I'm really proud of this one, the game that I had to leave in the middle of for my interview. I got the 9x9. So okay, Steph. So I'm not the only one who doesn't do the doodles in Patchwork Doodle. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength there. I always feel so bad because everyone's like taking forever. They're doing their little doodles, and Runa's talking about her cute little pictures, and even MP's like, yeah, and I'm gonna do this part now, but later when I get a piece, I can add this part onto it, and it'll be this big picture in the end. And I'm just like, how do you know that? Like, how's that gonna? Like, I can handle like doing blue and then red and then green. Yeah, so, but I'm definitely not an artist type of person or a musical type of person, which doesn't explain why I keep singing on the internet. I should probably stop doing that. Yeah, definitely. So, Steph, what have you been up to today?
Not really squirrely, is it?
I can't tell. It's still too dark or too light. Yeah, that's the word. It's always like when you start adding color, we start to be able to see it. Until then, it's kind of
Let me try and... The thing is, I live on the first floor, so if I properly raise all my blinds, everyone will be able to see my room when I don't speak, if you know what I mean.
I think Alan wants exactly the opposite. I think Alan wants it to be darker. Yeah, Yoda, that's the flames. Oh, you're changing from the flames. What are you going to move on to, Dutch, if you're not going to do flaming patchwork doodle? Are you going to do like the oceans of patchwork doodle, or ooh, Pac-Man doodle? That's cool. I like Pac-Man doodle.
Can you see the squirrel now?
No. Not really. Kind of. Parts of him. Steph, I will also be going to Hex Roller and also going to Cartographers. So what do you know? It seems like our plans align today. So I feel like today's like basically spent entirely in front of the internet because I got up barely in time. Like I barely had time to do any of the things I normally do in the morning before Bez's morning stream, and then was getting ready for some other streams coming up, doing some things with certain people who we all know, and but I can't talk about right now because it's super secret, and I wouldn't want to say anything about anything super secret and make anyone wonder what I'm doing, because that would not be something I would want to do. And I just finished doing the super secret project with the super secret other person who's maybe still in chat.
You're
too mean. Why, Bez? I don't know why. What do you mean? I'll tell you about my super...
If you're... You know exactly why.
Because I'm teasing you and everyone else knows exactly what I'm talking about? Oh, Dutch is going to play softball. Awesome. Have fun with that. I hope it's not too hot in the Netherlands. Take a lot of water with you anyway. And have fun. Yeah, super secret blue. You're right, Steph. So... Don't worry, Bez. I only started teasing you about it today. I could have started a week ago. You'll find out tomorrow. Maybe. If we finish in time. Dutch, I don't think weight loss due to fluid loss is actual weight loss. I think you just get it back when you drink a cup of water. So... But sports is good either way, and stay hydrated. So, it's 30 plus here too. Is it as bad in England? Aqua, you're not no. Aqua, you don't get to claim you need to lose weight.
It's pretty hot. I mean, you'll have to check it.
Yeah. Aqua, are you still at work? It's a little bit suspicious to see certain names popping up when I know they're working. That's good.
Hey, you're not the boss of Aqua.
No, I want Aqua to quit his job and come hang out with me more often, because his work is really getting in the way of some of our activities. And I think it's, it's time for him to quit. I mean, what is a job? What do you need a job for, Aqua? I mean, come on. Just to, pay the bills and stuff? I mean, that doesn't seem like a good thing to do. I mean, you could be hanging out with me on stream. You could be making games with me. We could be doing more secret projects, I mean, there's so much more you could be doing. Oh, goodness, 34, Andrew January. That sounds really hot. I don't actually know how hot it is here, but I do wish I had one of those portable air conditionings that you're talking about. I do not. But I have I've actually got a pretty nice setup here. I've got a pretty much a one-room apartment, kind of. I mean, I've got a separate bedroom and bathroom, but the rest of my apartment's one room. It's the kitchen and living room is all one, and a spiral staircase up to the like project room where we have like our not we. I have my sewing machine and I have my project table and I have my desk. That's weird. Okay. But it's all like one room. There's no walls up there. So it's like, so all the heat from down here goes up there. And I can open the windows and the balcony door and it kind of like has better airflow. So actually my friends come over here and they all live like in lower floors and they're like, yeah, we're so glad we live in the ground floor, the first floor. It's not too hot in there. And you live all the way up top. It's going to be horrible when we get there. And they come in here and they're like, oh, it's 10 degrees cooler in your apartment than in ours. It's like, yeah, definitely nice. Like it here. And so open invite. You should all come over and play some board games. Eventually. Because, you know, board games.
I mean, you want to be careful who you're saying that to.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it to, I think I know everyone currently in your chat. So, and I've actually invited several of these people to come over.
I feel like this is basically you taking over everything. This is going to be like the start of, you know, next thing I know, you're going to be doing the so-called Betty. It will be called the XBB, like the Xate board game bladder. And
I'm just going to put an X in front of it. The X Bezzy Brunchy Leathery board game show. Just going to exit. You know, that's it. But yeah, like Steph, who's in the chat, I've actually tried to convince her she should just move to Germany and be my new roommate because she's cool, and so that would be fun. But for some reason, she seems less than optimistic about that. See you, Dutch. Have a good time. And you're gonna catch us like you catch a baseball later. Nice pun. Was that intended? It's you. I'm just gonna assume it was intended because it's you. And Dutch is super intelligent. So anything he says, I just automatically assume he means it in the most intelligent way possible. So yeah, it was. I figured. See, there you go, Steph. You can already say Guten Morgen. So you're well on your way. Okay, Dutch is gone. We can all talk about him now. Wait, we've already been talking about him like for half the stream. Never mind.
Really Dutch?
Yes, he's actually Dutch, and he's actually, well, no, he's not actually Yoda, but he is pretty intelligent. Yeah. So, yeah.
So has everyone else been watching Dave Gorman?
I actually have, since you brought Dave Gorman up so many times in the last 3 weeks. I started watching Dave Gorman, and there's actually a new episode that I haven't watched that I got an alert for right before we started doing this. So I know what I'm going to do while I'm making dinner later. I will listen to the Dave Gorman episode. Although I must say, I found him more entertaining at first than I'm finding him now. It seems to the humor's getting kind of repetitive. But that might just be me. I don't really like comedy. I'm a serious person.
I'm sorry.
I love that that's going unchallenged. Oh, goodness.
That you're a Buddhist?
What? That I'm not funny?
Sorry, I thought you said you were a Buddhist.
No.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Groot's got some definitely weird lips going on and some definitely weird eyes going on. Is that what I look like?
Well,
I shouldn't make...
You said sure that Groot was female.
Well, I mean, it's me. Oh, my Groot. It's my alternative personality thing with the really big eyes, apparently. There we go. I shouldn't make grimaces on the internet. They could be like there forever. It's gonna be like,
knows what
hi.
you look like now. I mean, was that whole group thing because you didn't want people to know what you look like?
Yep. That's how it started. I was trying to hide on the internet. So I called myself Oma Groot and got a picture of a tree.
Really not lasted.
Oh, it did, though. It lasted for like a year. I didn't post anything except pictures of trees for 8 months. Yeah, I kind of... Actually, Loozapalooza got me to break down first, but Bez got me to break down more... Yeah, well, I didn't post any pictures of actual me until well into
lockdown.
Yes, well, Loozapalooza got me to break character first, but you've gotten me to break character the most continuously, like basically. Since we started doing stuff together, I think I've just kind of given up. I'm like, okay, this is my face. I'm here. So, but the first time that I actually showed my face on camera was for the Loozapalooza show when they did their 100th episode. They're like, who wants to call in? And they asked me if I wanted to call in, and I was kind of like, but people will see my face. And then I did it, and I lived through it. I survived. Nobody died that I know of from having seen me. So, and then they, I guess like a week later or something, Dave was like, yeah, we need pirates for our pirate thing. Will you do a pirate video? Well, no, first he locked me in. We were doing Forgotten Waters, and he asked around, who would do a character. And Dutch Yoda said yes. I said yes. Phil and Lisa said yes. So a couple of us. And so he sent us this like questionnaire. We're supposed to write our answers and everything. And it's like, no problem. Okay, write my answers, send them in. And he's like, great. Now I just need a video from you. And I'm like, wait, what? that wasn't part of the initial ask. What do you mean? What do you mean video? A video of me? And Dave didn't exactly communicate what he meant by a video. Like, I didn't know. All I knew is I needed to record myself saying the text, but I didn't know like what standard that he was like asking people for, so me coming from a theatrical background, I studied performing arts and whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, so I need to make a video of this character. So I spent an entire Saturday building a set upstairs that looked piratey and getting a costume together and making this, and it's like a 2-minute video. I spent 4 or 5 hours getting a set and costume put together, and like total theatrical style. And then I did this like little video of me like sitting like a pirate, being like "arr," and saying my piratey text. And then we got to the stream in the evening, and everybody's just like, you've got the people, and you just see them kind of just like reading the piratey text, and then they look up at the camera and then they read the pirate. I'm like, oh, is that all I had to do? Whoops. So, I think I went a little bit overboard. So if you ever do not want me to dress up like a pirate to do something, it's always best you tell me. Like, Xate, you don't need to dress up in full pirate garb and build yourself a set for what I'm asking. But could you do whatever? Because otherwise I'm likely to just build a pirate set. And that's very sweet of you, Steph. I enjoyed the videos too. I think everybody, it was just, I think anytime anyone of that group does something, it ends up being really fun and different and unusual. And one of the things I like about being part of such a vibrant community of random board gaming peoples is that so many of these people are so creative in such different ways that I'm always just like surprised by the things that they're posting on Facebook or that they're showing on Twitch or something, because it's like everyone has their own take of something. Like we have a couple people who did their patchwork doodle game as a painting, or we have like people who draw like really into like really like find like really beautiful little things. And we have people who just like are musical, and people who are good at cooking stuff, and people who take really beautiful photographs, and just like so many different creative expressions. And I love it. Like, it's just like, and these are all people I wouldn't know if it wasn't for like Corona, which is kind of like yeah, okay, there was a lockdown and there's a virus and things are heavy and deep and stuff, but there have been a couple of really good things to come out of it, at least for me. This like community and has given me, yeah, a lot of friendships, a lot of inspiration, and a lot of laughs. So I'm really grateful for the stuff that's come out of it. And I'm really glad I don't look like that tree. Don't look like that tree. Do I look like that
positivity?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. The people I spend the majority of my day with currently are people that I, for the most part, didn't even know 6 months ago. I mean, I knew you, Bez. We've known each other kind of for a couple of years, but I mean, even that, like, before Corona, we saw each other 2 or 3 times, and we'd talked on the phone maybe twice. And now I see you every day. Like, it's different. Like, friendships have. Pardon? Did you say something?
Can you? Hello?
Yeah. Oh, there you are.
I can't hear you. You're talking?
Yeah. Can you? You were talking for a second and then you glitched out again. So I don't know if we missed something.
I'm just looking at the chat.
You're gone. Or you keep saying like halves of sentences, and then in the middle of the sentence, I lose you.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess I have a more positive outlook currently than I have had in a long time too. So it's interesting, like seeing how like things change even within a year. And I guess I do a lot of reflecting. Like, I'm not the kind of person who does the whole like New Year's resolution.
Your own personal outlook.
Yeah, but like other people do the whole like New Year's resolutions thing and looking back on the year, the calendar year or something. And I don't usually tend to do that so much. I look more at a year of my life. So that's like this week I'm doing a lot of reflecting and a lot of thinking about, what has this last year been? Because, we are just 8 days away from Xate Day. And I'm thinking, back, where was I 1 year ago? And I mean, my life has changed drastically in this year. Corona wasn't even the big thing in the last calendar year for me. So like everyone else is like, yeah, 2020, the year of Corona. And for me, it's just like, well, that's the second biggest thing that happened to me this year, is living through that. But it's interesting to just see like, also like, despite like all the things that have gone wrong, like to also purposely look at all the things that have gone right. Like, I think that it's important to focus also sometimes on those things and not to only look at the negative, because everybody talks about the negative and the negative kind of jumps out at you all the time. But if you look at like the other side of things, like where have you developed skills that you didn't have before?
It's important to be mindful of some of them so that I can, work towards rectifying some of the stuff that's going on in the world, if you know what I mean. Because it is amazing that people are working so hard to get stuff improved. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But that's that's a different level, because I'm not doing anything to help the world. I mean, honestly, I'm sitting in my living room. So it's great that other people are able to do that and that the world is moving forward with that. But if I'm looking back at my year, it's not going to have any significance on anyone outside of my immediate circle, because I'm not doing anything important. So my year's more about, what was I up to this year? Steph says she's also had a lot of changes going on this year. Yeah. And I mean, like, 1 year ago, I hadn't done any acting at all, any theater, any music stuff, any artistic stuff, any crafty stuff in 5 years. For 5 years. And now within the last, 6 months, I've started doing acting videos again, doing really bad song renditions again, making crafts, trying my hand at just different things that I'd never done before even. Like just developing skills I didn't have before. And I've had the chance to do that. Steph, how's your life changed? Have you been having positive changes as well? Are you also noticing things that have gotten better? Since we're focusing on good stuff right now. We don't have to though. I'm up for bad stuff. It's like, or like even like a year ago, like I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know most of my friends a year ago. So, and I'm hoping that stays around. Yeah, the Losing family has been a huge positive for me too. And I'm hoping. And I know Steph, you're also like we're kind of the what happens when everyone goes back to their lives kind of a camp. I know I'm still going to be around, so got you. Yeah. Bez, that tree Groot character looks kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, that's scary. It's like,
well, maybe you're kind of scary.
I'm going to get you with my big eyes, and I'm going to make you wear lipstick. But the squirrel looks a little bit like a punk, and that's kind of cool. Like it's got the punk haircut.
What on Groot? No.
No, the squirrel.
Just the way that Groot is. That's the ears.
Ooh, Steph, what are you getting for breakfast? Can I have some? I should probably also get food before the next show.
Yeah, it's not worked out. There you go. That is squirrel of some subscription.
Grits with peaches. Grits. Peaches. Yeah, that could work. That sounds nice. Sounds very southern. I don't remember where you're from. Somewhere. Indiana? That's not the South. Or, I thought grits were a southern thing. Are they not a southern thing? Maybe they're not. Maybe I made that up. My dad used to like grits. My dad's from Louisiana.
Can't remember.
He could never say Louisiana. He always said Louisiana. This is like, okay. Oh, okay. What's your favorite food, Steph? We always do the questionably quick questions, or when we didn't do them with Kath today because I don't know. That's the thing. So I'm going to do them with Steph now. What's your favorite food?
Kath's already done them.
And do you prefer iced coffee or hot tea? And do you prefer dice, cards, or cubes? And do you prefer me or me?
Paste them over to you if you wanted.
No, yeah. I'm making up my own. I'm making up my own quick questionably question.
Then you could ask me.
Oh, yeah, but no, I have to jump off actually in a minute too because I also have another stream. So we're running out of time. Bez, you've answered the questions yourself too before.
4:30.
Yeah, it's in like 10 minutes.
I think I have.
I agree with you, Steph. Iced coffee, definitely. Do you prefer Will Cook or Xate? Okay, so Steph, the big question, the one everybody argues over. No, not everybody, but Alan Outen and I. Art or rules? And Alan, it doesn't matter what she says, you can't claim her as your new best friend. She's one of mine. So, Just taking that off the table. I like the tail. It looks like it's on fire.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the actual request was, Bez. I know I had a squirrel in it, but I don't remember what else I said. Okay, both.
It said, my tree self with a squirrel. Was meant to be playing, but like they look like they're having fun, maybe.
I'm worried that I'd said my tree self, and this is how you drew me. It's like an alien mixed with a tree, like more alien than tree.
I mean, you are Groot, apparently. Okay, that's me. See, so what's okay, so oh, I think my camera's kind of really lagging. It's about 5 seconds, even when I look at the camera.
Okay.
But that is that. I mean, hopefully, folk got some sorts of from watching those drawings.
Yeah.
Guess it's a good time to wrap up.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that should just have a tiny bit more distinction between those things. Just do one thing. There. There. Now it's done. Okay. And I'm trying. Can you see that?
Yes.
Xate? You happy with that?
It's very unique.
Fair. Well, I'm sorry I wasn't able to make a drawing that made you happier, but I hope that some people found some entertainment value in seeing it drawn.
Put your face back on for the closing arguments or whatever. The closing for the bye-bye song and whatever else.
Oh yeah. I'll join in on my laptop. Going to close this.
Hey, we have a Bez joining us.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, welcome to my channel, Bez.
Hello, Xate. So, yeah, that is the thing. So, yeah, today we drew. Well, I drew dinosaur. What's on the floor stays on the floor.
Aww.
And it's sad because it can't pick up the die.
It's very sad, dinosaur.
Then this is my favorite drawing.
Yeah, that one turned out incredibly well. Did you use a different type of marker on those? The lines look different.
I think I just knew what I wanted to do, if you know what I mean, and I was able to turn it into more simple lines, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oops. And yeah, I quite like the colors on the squirrel.
Do I look like that? I'm trying to look like Groot. Yeah, the flaming squirrel tail's the best part of that. I love this. It looks like the tail's on fire.
So everyone in chat seems to have gone really quiet.
Yeah, I think they're all getting ready for the next stream or off to other things.
But yeah, if you've enjoyed this, then I guess the next how do I normally wrap up? Looking forward to hopes and ambitions. It's over to you.
Oh, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We can't do hopes and ambition in the morning and in the afternoon and then again in the evening.
Well,
I mean, if we do this to a Thursday, it would be 3 times in one day. Like, we can't do that. There's not enough.
There's not enough to hope for.
There's not enough to hope for.
That's a very morose situation to say. I'm hoping that next time I stream, it'll go better. That's what I'm hoping for, based on what we've just experienced.
Aww. I'm hoping that you'll be happier with our stream next time. I think it's good. I think it's more entertaining when there's 2 people talking. Once Catherine had to go, it's just kind of like, because there's a little lag between me and the chat. So anything Steph was saying or whatever, just in order to react to that, it takes longer. And so kind of felt like I was monologuing about nothing in particular.
I appreciated you doing that. To be fair, I would have probably still been more entertained by Dave Gorman, but it was nice having you, and it was lovely. Thanks, Andrew, for joining in, and yeah, it was nice kind of having you along, and it would be nice, I think, Thursdays, like 2 p.m, because I do my morning thing and then my evening thing, and I kind of see Chris in the afternoon, but Chris normally does their own thing for most of that. And so, yeah, if we kind of do it from 2-ish until whenever, there's definitely some Americans, like Margaret Control from PSI, said that they'd be up for it. But then the problem is, if we get a brand new guest, I'd want to talk to them as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I suggested repeat guests, because then you can chime in a little, but you don't have to be intently interested in what.
Yeah, because if you get Maggie Bots on, then I'll want to know all about the distribution. They don't do distribution. It's I forget the word. It's basically the person who sells to the distributor.
Okay.
But
I mean, you could get them on for a morning show first.
No, because they're based in America, and even for 2 p.m, they said it's like
a little
7
early
a.m. or something over there. Yeah. But no, we could do something like that and see if people are happy to stay on for a wee bit longer. I mean, I don't know if it's because of the upload speed, because I'm technically uploading this bit and this bit, if you know what I mean, like the camera from my phone, it's uploading directly, and then the camera from there. Once I turned my computer camera off, it seemed to be okay. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So I think technically maybe that is the situation. But yeah, it's all good. And recap, I enjoyed it. Thank you for people watching. Thank you for Xate for doing this idea. If you want to check me out, stuffbybez.bigcartel, twitter.com/stuffbybez, instagram.com/stuffbybez, twitch.tv/stuffbybez, facebook.com/thingsbybez, and stephbybez@gmail.com. Share it, spread the word. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. UK time. It will be my 100th episode in a row. 100 days, 100 episodes. And then Sunday, I'm going to chat to Richard Denning, who's running Virtually Expo. And
I will also be back tomorrow morning with something for Bez.
Ooh.
Will it be a hello? Yes, it will be a hello.
There is only one thing left to do now, because now is not the time for hellos anymore. Now is the time to say bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye, bye.
Bye, bye. Bye, bye. Thank you for
streaming. Thank you for watching along. Bye, bye.
Bye, bye.
This is the end of the show. Bye, bye.
Bye, bye.
And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye. Bye bye.
That's a great picture, Steph.
This is the end of the show. Bye bye. Bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye.